Hi guys, thanks for watching. This is Leslie again, and as you can see, I have a very special guest with me. This is my fiance, Hilton, and we're going to attempt to do the fiance or couples tag. This might go a little bit differently. I have some questions to ask, but then I think you have some relationship insights to also add. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Hello,
so
America.
hello, America. Hello, world, not just
Hello, world.
America.
Hello, world. Okay.
Okay, so why don't you tell the audience a little bit about how we came to be a couple? How did that happen?
Okay. Well, I would have to admit that serendipity played its role. I think subconsciously we were projecting our energy into the universe, and just through fate, we connected. And I have a intrinsic fascination for skincare and hair care creations. I specialize in hobbies regarding those. And I found Leslie, and
Well,
she's
how did you find me?
on YouTube.
On YouTube. So you saw, what did you see?
Uh,
The,
I saw you promoting retinol A regarding skincare,
right,
and I
okay.
was fascinated by that.
So you saw my retinol video, that like really popular one on my channel,
Yes.
and then after you saw that, then what?
Well, okay, so I was mesmerized by the extrinsic beauty of Leslie, and I say that without a hint of exaggeration. I was, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
also a philosophy major, so extrinsic doesn't it doesn't cover all the aspects of beauty to me. The intrinsic component obviously eclipses that. So the way Leslie presented herself, her articulate nature, the way she spoke with such vigor and passion, really intrigued me tremendously.
And then so you decided to contact me as a result of seeing that.
100%.
So where do you live?
I live in Canada.
And where do I live?
In America.
So I live in America, but I live in Oklahoma. So we live in completely two different countries. And so this is a long distance relationship. And so far a long distance engagement as well.
Engagement?
Engagement. It
Yes.
is a long distance engagement. Yes. Okay. So how many times have we seen each other in person?
8.
8 times. But we talk to each other literally every day.
Every day.
Every day. So I guess a lot of people would think, well, how could you know that I'm the one after only seeing me in person? But when I say we see each other in person, this is like, we have like these little mini vacations where we visited each other over those 8 times. How do you know that I'm the one?
The intuition. I believe the more you use the intuition, it's like a muscle, the stronger it becomes. And my first actual tangible meeting or encounter with Leslie was a revelation of this. She is the one. And let me tell you, after getting it wrong, I'm finally getting it right.
What do you mean by getting it wrong?
Well, making errors in previous relationships and whatnot, and realizing that they're not the where I really want to be. And meeting Leslie for the first time, it was like, this is how life should have been. This is how life should be. And that was my epiphany and the intuition speaking to me.
Okay. All right. So.
Spicy Thai?
Yeah. Well, we're about to talk about that in a second. So, all right, these are the questions from the actual tag. So I'm going to choose some of them and then you can answer them. So, when and where did we first meet? So I guess that would be the in-person part, even though we had talked for a good 8 months before we met in person? No.
10 months.
Okay, 10 months before we met in actual person. So where was it that we first met? Like you first laid actual human eyes on me in person?
Buffalo International Airport.
Buffalo International Airport.
In Buffalo, New York.
Right, because I flew there to meet you.
Yes, you did.
And what was your first impression of me?
Is this the woman in the video? She's real. This is her, and this is love. This is love. It was a confirmation of what I already knew.
So seeing me in person, it was a confirmation of how you already felt about me.
Yes, absolutely.
So, where was our first date? I guess you could say the first in-person date.
In a place called St. Catharines, Canada, which is situated between Niagara Falls, Ontario, and Toronto, Ontario. We went to a Thai restaurant with bamboo furniture, and we parked the car behind the restaurant, and we were walking around, and this intuition just said, this is the woman for you. Leslie is the woman for you. You've missed out a lot in your life, and you're about to be replenished.
So that was our first date, was the spicy Thai restaurant.
Yes.
And we sat in this area where you sit on the floor with the bamboo furniture. That's where you mentioned the bamboo furniture. So we sat there, and that was also where we had our first kiss.
Before we walked into the restaurant, we had our
because
first
that's the other question is like, where was our first kiss? So what was that?
Leslie had said something to me about chivalry, because I'm huge on chivalry, even with this modern day age. Okay, with the technology, chivalry is so absent and so neglected in contemporary living, and that is something I really strive for. I believe a woman must be treated with dignity and respect, and must be treated in a very special manner, and that is basically a definition of chivalry.
And he is pretty good about chivalry. Like he'll open doors for me. Even he'll open the car door before I get in. So he's not just saying that just because he's on camera.
So I was speaking to her about chivalry, and Leslie had made a comment before we had walked into the restaurant, and then we had approached the front door of the restaurant, and Leslie was ahead of me because I was going to open the door for her, and then I just turned her around, and energy said, "Kiss your future bride."
And that's what kiss your future bride. Yes, like for real, that's what you felt like, kiss your future bride.
If I banish the fear and the freshness of our visit, that's what my intuition said to me.
So you knew that I was your future bride.
I knew at the airport because it was love.
So when you saw me at the airport, you knew I was your future bride, is what you're saying?
I knew I wanted you to be my future bride.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't predict that was the case, but I knew I wanted you to be.
Okay.
Right.
So who said I love you first?
You said that, Leslie Claire.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
But then what happened after I said it first?
Then I internalized, and I thought, okay, I'm a coach. I love to coach. I coach, and I create skincare as a hobby. And I thought, you know what, if I'm going to get into coaching outside of sports, I would not confess my love and just basically withhold it. And I thought, no, I can't do that, because when you love, you must eradicate the ego.
I love all these SAT words.
So I decided that I would proclaim and articulate my love and not let my ego impede this relationship.
Okay, so you decided to say it back.
Yes.
Is what you mean. Like you
reciprocated verbally the expressions of love. Yes.
Well, it was over text.
Right. It was over text.
It was over text.
Yes.
I said I loved you.
Right.
What did you feel like when I said that?
Humbled, moved, intrigued, and surprised.
Were you really surprised?
Distance. We weren't in a tangible situation at that time.
Yeah, we had not met yet in person.
Right.
But like he said earlier, I just knew. Just knew.
Yes.
So, let's see. There was another question I was going to ask before I got to that one. Okay, I already asked what was your first impression of me. How long have we been together?
Officially or unofficially?
Okay, let's say officially and unofficially. So, unofficially, how long have we been talking? How long were we talking?
Well, I contacted you in January 2018, but the feelings spilled in March 2018.
Mm-hmm. And so then we were talking from about that point until when? When did we officially become an official couple?
July 2019.
July 2019.
Only because of the distance.
So that's been how long? That has been, I can't even count. So
6 months?
six,
August, September, October. 8 months.
8 months. Okay, so 8 months we've been together.
But that's officially. Because
Right.
we were.
Right. I get that. Officially.
Yes.
Like where we officially committed. And how long have we been engaged?
5 months.
Okay. So do we have, actually, before I ask that one, what was the first thing you noticed about me?
How passionate you were about your speech, and you had underpinnings of humility that you married with your passion.
Okay. Just remember, you gotta project.
Okay. Would you like me to repeat that?
You can. Go ahead and repeat it.
Yes. How articulate you were and how passionate you were in your expression and your humility. So, a marriage of humility and passion in your speech.
Okay, you're talking about in the video.
In the video.
Okay. Do we have a tradition?
Would you elaborate on the
Like, I don't know. Do we have like something that every time we see each other we do, like we've made it a tradition?
Massage and holding hands.
You giving me a massage? Okay. What about Lafa, going to the restaurant?
Oh yes,
Lafa?
this middle. Oh, one thing about Tulsa, Oklahoma, they have some of the most beautiful eating establishments, and I have a proclivity for eating very healthy, nutritious, delicious foods. And one of my propensities is Middle Eastern cuisine, and Lafa is an Israeli Middle Eastern cuisine that also meshes North African and Arabic and a medley of European foods, and it is the zenith of quality Middle Eastern food.
Okay, so you like to go to, yeah, we definitely have gone to Lapa a few times, and you've really liked the cuisine there. And what's something that we do in Canada? Is there something that we do in Canada as a tradition?
Red velvet cake.
We've done that once. Well, I guess that answers one of the questions. What kind of cake would you bake me on my birthday?
Oh, red velvet.
Red velvet, because
of course, that's your favorite. That's Leslie's favorite. Yes.
So who wears the pants in this relationship?
I do.
Yes, he does.
Yes. But in a non-misogynistic manner, okay? Because remember, chivalry is still the undercurrent of this relationship. It's Absolutely. Just masculine and feminine energy. There's great admiration. There's a tremendous proliferation of love, and with the fusion and the interplay of masculine and feminine, the masculine is the leader, and the feminine is the wonderful supporting cast, and the equivalent in the other spectrum, because you got two different types of energy, masculine and feminine.
So what is one talent that I have?
You're extremely creative.
Elaborate on that. What makes me so creative?
You're a natural entrepreneur. You have a very gifted disposition of reaching the world. You love humanity. You love to learn. And you love to channel your creativity into improving the planet.
Okay. Well, thank you, baby. So if you could change anything about me, what would it be?
Nothing. I would actually encourage you to become more of yourself, because when you're in a love relationship with someone, don't get into a relationship hoping or wanting to change somebody. You accept them for who and what they are.
That's a good point.
So I encourage you to just be more of who you truly are.
But there's nothing that you, if you could, you would be like, well, maybe not that. You're saying there's nothing.
That's a good question. No, I can't really think.
Keeping it nice for the cameras.
No,
right?
no. I've actually said this before. I've never said this to any other woman in my life. I feel that you're just perfectly customized for me. So what is there to change?
Oh.
And that's without a trace of exaggeration. I have said that to you.
Yes, yeah.
So there's your answer. If you weren't perfect for me, then I would say, okay, I would like you to change this and that. I can't think of something I'd really want you to change.
Okay. So let's see. What am I really good at?
Communication, forgiveness, sense of humor, fashion sense, cultural awareness, tolerance, and living a lifestyle that fortifies your character rather than false advertising with empty speech.
Okay. What am I really bad at?
That's a good question. What are you bad at? Sometimes you get very quiet.
Okay. So when I get very quiet, what does that mean? Like
Then I wonder, I'm not sure, and then I've been unsuccessful in trying to interpret what you're thinking.
So sometimes I'm bad at communicating when I get quiet. Is that what you mean? Or
Yes, sometimes you get very quiet. But you're entitled to that too.
Okay. But that makes you a little bit worrisome when I get quiet? Like, what are you thinking kind of a thing?
Yes.
Okay. So, who's more jealous?
You.
Me? I'm more jealous. Okay. All right. And who is the organized one in the relationship? Me. You didn't even let me finish the sentence. Okay. And I won $1,000. What will I spend it on?
Oh, necessities.
Me?
Yes.
I would spend it on necessities so I wouldn't go blow it on stupid stuff.
No.
Okay. That's probably right. Maybe I'd go shopping a little bit.
Well, you're entitled to that.
But not like, I wouldn't just go buy a TV or anything. Do we have a song? What's our song?
Well, I have one for you.
Okay, what is it?
A Different Corner by George Michael. Okay. Do we have a song? Yes, we do, actually.
What?
Father Figure.
Okay. Another George Michael.
Yes.
And so what's something that you have learned from me? That might go into the stuff that you have written down there, maybe. I think that's for the last question also, by the way.
To be fearless when you love. A lot of men tend to be reticent, and they withhold expression because Western society tends to encourage that, and we have this unspoken fear of expression, and I've had to unlearn that. So with Leslie, I've been provided or granted the approval of expression, where I can show vulnerability, and where vulnerability went from being my weakness to my strength. That's what you've taught me.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much, we're almost running out of time there on the, like, I'm just keeping a look at the time, like my phone's gonna run out. So, anything you want to add?
Of course. Okay, just very briefly.
Very briefly.
Relationship inhibitors are ego, selfishness, cruelty, neglect. Okay? Relationship nutrients are humility, unselfishness, generosity, compassion, uninterrupted listening, and spontaneity and humor. And love is like a habitual practice. If you brush your teeth every day, if you shower every day, love is a daily activation process. Meaningless words are one of the greatest insults to love. Activation and the sacred energies of loving kindness is probably the most beautiful gift that we can emit in this universe. And charity begins at home. Thank you for welcoming me home.
I love you.
I love you for eternity.
Aww. All right. Well, thank you for
Thank
watching our fiance/couples tag.
Thank you.
And go ahead and click that subscribe button if you have not done so. Bye, guys.
Bye.